Good morning. Getting into some weird stuff in the book of Genesis. Just wanted to share with you a little bit. Kind of fun, kind of different today. I'm in Genesis chapter 30. We're in the middle of Jacob, and he has married Rachel and Leah, and he has also been with their handmaidens Bilhah and Zilpah, and has been having kids. And uh, So when Jacob came in from the fields that evening, Leah went out to meet him. "You must sleep with me," she said. "I have hired you with my son's mandrakes." So he slept with her that night. Very weird. God listened to Leah, and she became pregnant and bore Jacob a fifth son. Now, this whole idea of mandrakes, these are weird little plants. And I'm not even sure this picture of them is real, but their roots look like little men. And they were thought, because of that, to have magical properties that enhance the maleness of males. That's kind of a weird way to put it, but that's kind of what it's getting at. Uh, looking them up, the the oil in the plants has some hallucinogenic properties, and they're actually kind of poisonous. So nothing to play with. Um, but because of a lot of these factors, they have been believed since ancient times to have magical or mythical properties that can enhance the human experience, if you will. Um, Local lore that got into the mix there. Let's just jump back a second. God listened to Leah, and she became pregnant and bore Jacob a fifth son. So the scripture makes plain that it wasn't about these mandrake plants, that it was about God tuning in to Leah's situation and granting her another son. Yeah, there was local lore involved, but the Bible's very careful to tell us the truth, that it was really about God blessing Leah. Now we're going to jump ahead about 20 verses. And Laban has said, "Listen, you've worked 14 years for my two daughters. Let's cut another deal so I can keep you working for me, because having you working for me has been a blessing." And so what they agreed to, and Jacob came up with this, any spotted or streaked lamb or goat would belong to Jacob, and everything else, the pure stuff, if you will, would belong to Laban. So right here, Laban says, "Agreed. Let it be as you have said." That same day, he, that is Laban, removed all the male goats that were streaked or spotted, and all the speckled or spotted female goats, all that had white on them, and all the dark colored lambs, and he placed them in the care of his sons. Wait a minute. He's cleaning out any kind of thing that Jacob could benefit from. Then he put a 3-day journey between himself and Jacob, while Jacob continued to tend the rest of Laban's flocks. So he cleaned out any chance of Jacob getting anything, frankly. Now we get into this peeled branches bit. Jacob, however, took fresh cut branches from poplar, almond, and plane trees and made white stripes on them by peeling the bark and exposing the white inner wood of the branches. The thought was, and the narrative goes on, that when the healthier looking, bigger females came into heat, that these striped branches would go into their water troughs, so they would see them, and then when they mated with the males, the rams, that they would somehow produce spotted or speckled offspring. Um, so Jacob is using again local lore to try to make things work to his advantage. Next chapter, though. In breeding season, I once had a dream in which I looked up and saw the male goats mating with the flock were streaked, speckled, or spotted. The angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob. I answered, Here I am. And he said, Look up and see that all the male goats mating with the flock are streaked, speckled, or spotted. For I have seen all that Laban has been doing to you. So it wasn't about these striped sticks in the water trough. It was about God seeing the injustice that was going on and saying, hey, listen, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to change some genetics here because I'm the master of them. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and where you made a vow to me. Now leave this land at once and go back to your native land. Then Rachel and Leah replied, Do we still have any share in the inheritance of our father's estate? Does he not regard us as foreigners? Not only has he sold us, but he has used up what was paid for us. I don't think they like the idea of being sold for Jacob working for their dad. They regard us as foreigners. Surely all the wealth that God took away from our father belongs to us and to our children. So do whatever God has told you. So there's some local lore that has crept into Scripture. It happens because Scripture is about real life, but it also, each time, makes sure to frame it up to say, well, yeah, but it wasn't that lore. It was actually about the Lord and his work in a person's life. May the Lord add his blessing to this reading of his word.